Fellas, it's Cyanice here, and I have a confession to make. I like to consume video games, anime, TV shows, and movies. Oh, that felt good to get off my chest. Oh, and also, I'm a huge fan of the famous YouTuber Stripe the Squid. So what would happen if I combine the two? BAM! A media consumption video. Yes, that's right. I've decided to talk about every single piece of media I've consumed this year, because why the heck not? Oh, and there will be timestamps for every section in the video, so if you want to skip around, feel free to do so. Otherwise, let's get into it.
The witness on the stand right now is a fucking ghost!
Capcom, am I right? As we all know, Capcom loves to discount their older games, and whoop-de-doo, Pastime finds the Ace Attorney trilogy and heard nothing but good things about it from friends, so why the heck not? And man, was it fun. It's a visual novel where you play as Phoenix Wright and you are a defense attorney and you yell objection and stuff and try to defend your client from being falsely accused of whatever crime they've been accused of. It's a simple premise, and the most you're gonna get out of a game like this is the dialogue, but I'll be damned, it's good dialogue. When something smells, it's usually the butts. Ah, this game's amazing.
The memes.
I can't believe it took me this long to play this game, but hey, it was perfect timing because apparently it's this game's 10-year anniversary. So that's really cool. If you somehow haven't heard of this game or have seen the million Armstrong memes by now, this game is a spin-off from the regular Metal Gear series of games, where instead of stealth, this game is more of a hack and slash similar to Bayonetta, where you play as a cyborg ninja that can slash things into a million pieces, and I'm gonna end that there. Look, I get this is a 10-year-old game, but I'm not gonna spoil this for you. Like, come on, this is one of the greatest video games I've ever played. The music, the gameplay, the visuals, perfect. And if you don't want to play it, I've made 2 videos on it, so either way, you have no excuse. Play this game. Now insert a funny overused MGR meme here.
Bitches and whores.
Oh yay! Another game I can't really talk about because I don't want to spoil it despite being an old game. Man, this is gonna be a boring video. Joker joined Smash and then I played Persona 5 Royal, and it was good. And it would then lead me into playing Persona 4, and wow, you can tell just how much they changed between 4 and 5. And not that that's a bad thing, of course, but it definitely caught me off guard. So in this game, instead of starting out as a guy with a criminal record, you start out as a guy. A normal guy. You could even say, a free guy! And you live in a small town called Inaba, where some wacky murders happen, and you needed to go into the metaverse and reach out to the truth to find the killer and save the day. Oh, and do social links in school and all that other stuff. Look, I won't sugarcoat it. Play this game. Oh my god, this game is awesome. I love the cast for this game so much and cried so hard when it was all said and done. I love these guys, and you will too. Do yourself a favor and play it.
New Colgate Total Plaque Pro release dissolves and lifts away plaque.
On another note though, do yourself a favor and don't play this game. And before everyone dislikes this video, I am a Fire Emblem fan. One of my favorite characters in all of media is Azura from Fire Emblem Fates. We all have different opinions, okay? Okay. This game is dog shit! Oh, Sign, you just hate Alir's design. No, I thought she looked pretty cool, and I mean the male looked pretty whack, but you know what? That's okay. No, the real problem here is the story. Dear God, what the fuck happened here? This game's plot feels like a fanfiction from someone who's only played Fire Emblem Heroes, and it is so bad that it makes Fates look great in comparison. I mean, yeah, sure, the gameplay is fine, and the character designs are cool, and the voice acting is amazing, but outside of that, I guess you can pet the dog in this game. That's cool. Look, if you're interested in this franchise and you want to play a modern Fire Emblem game, please just get 3 houses. Do not bother with this crap, I beg you.
However, 8-player Smash is going to be a special mode in the game.
Fellas, this is one of the greatest turn-based RPGs I've ever played. Yeah, we are going there. It was my most anticipated game of 2023, and what do you know? I loved it. It's not even that this game does anything crazier than the original, it just improves on everything that was wrong with the first title and fixed it and made it even better. Battles are faster, the travelers actually interact this time around, the visual style is somehow better. I say somehow because it's not even like the first game's visuals were bad, it's just the second ones are just crazier in comparison. And that's not even to mention the new music, the new travelers, the new final chapter, which I won't talk about because you need to experience this game, god damn it. It just really pains me this game got put under the radar. While I get it doesn't do anything groundbreaking, it does what it sets out to do flawlessly, and I can't recommend it enough. Also, you don't need to play the first game, as they are 2 completely different stories, characters, worlds, etc. So you can hop straight into this one. Yippee! Would you believe me if I told you I never played Superstar Saga before? Well, now I have, and man, I have no idea why I held it off for so long. Well, that's a lie. You see, I have this worry that people gas up the games they played in their childhood as being a masterpiece that is untouchable and has no flaws whatsoever, and I was a bit worried that the first Mario and Luigi game wasn't going to hold up, but surprise, surprise, it does? I can't believe they dropped a banger on their first go-around. Oh, what I would do to get Alpha Dream back again. Oh, and I should also specify I played the remake. Not that the original is bad, but I just like playing on my 3DS, and the new music and visuals are definitely a treat I didn't want to miss out on.
This is Ryu, from Streets.
As someone who's not too into fighting games outside of Smash, I loved this game. And to get this straight out of the way, I love Luke from Streets. He's just a normal guy out here fighting for the heck of it. I love him so much. I actually even met his voice actor this year, so that was cool. Anyway, about the game itself, I've never played a Street Fighter before, but despite that, I had a fun time with this. I love the art style and effects they use whenever you do a special attack, and god, it's beautiful. The custom avatar you can make for the single player mode as well is also amazing. And the updated character designs of some of the veterans from Street Fighter also look amazing. Honestly, this has to be one of the best fighting games to get into if you're interested in playing a fighting game. Now, am I good at it? No! But I did have a fun time, and that's all that matters. And because I played it, now I get to indulge in Luke memes on Twitter. I can only respond only in Luke gifs.
Legend of Zelda! Legend of Link!
If I didn't already piss people off in my take on Fire Emblem Engage, oh boy, guess what? I thought Tears of the Kingdom was okay. Okay, let's start with the positives. The shit you can do with Ultra Hand is crazy. You can crucify Koroks, you can build flying machines. You can crucify Koroks. We have the mainland and the underground, which is so cool, and I can't believe they managed to have a whole other map down there and have it run around the Switch. And no, the sky does not count. That shit has one main island and then a bunch of tiny islands. And we got a new snazzy looking Ganondorf, and that's amazing. Oh, and Sidon makes a return as well. And we all love Sidon. Okay, positives over. Let me be big baby rage mad. I think the charm of this game for me just wasn't there. I mean, I paid $70 for this game, and outside of the underground, this game felt like a Fortnite season update rather than a whole new release. And yeah, I hear the angry mob outside now. I don't know, outside of new additions to the map, there really wasn't anything enticing me to explore it again. I mean, Death Mountain looked really scary, but that's about it. Oh, and also I thought the story was kinda eh. Ganondorf just comes out of nowhere and terrorizes the Zonai people, and wham! Now he's... Wait a second, let me check the notes here. The Demon King! Okay, you cannot just casually call yourself that in reference to Demise and do absolutely nothing with it. Such a massive letdown in my opinion. I mean, what was the point of them re-releasing Skyward Sword then outside of letting new Zelda fans play it for the first time? Not only that, this game punishes you for experiencing the game out of order. If you go to get the Master Sword early, you spoil pretty much every prior event and memory. And the Phantom Ganon stuff as well, which makes it seem like the devs are holding a carrot on a stick for you, making you think it's still Zelda, except the carrot is slowly becoming more expired, so by the end of it, you just want it to be over. It just sucks that you can experience Breath of the Wild in any order you want and still get a full enjoyment out of it. But here, you will be actively ruining your enjoyment with it if you dare experience a memory out of order. Oh, and this part's just a nitpick on my end, but dude, the retcon of the Sheikah technology not existing anymore? Why? I mean, I get they don't want to invalidate new players who didn't play Breath of the Wild, but again, why? It made me even more angry when the director came out and gave a reason for the tech and the Divine Beast being absent. Want to know what the reason was, though? Come on, take a guess. I promise you, it's worse than what you're thinking.
They vanished!
I'm not saying that to exaggerate either. That's what he said. Yeah... If you love this game, don't let me ruin your fun. But for me personally, I just did not enjoy this game as much as I did Breath of the Wild, and I am so sorry. So, I can look at this in one of two ways. I can either praise this game to death for getting a ton of views and getting my channel out there, or I can be brutally honest and say after the first world, I hated this game. Look, it's probably a skill issue, but I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was my Pikmin AI or the lack of being a good leader, but my Pikmin kept dying as soon as I got to the second world, and I was just not having fun, and I was just getting really frustrated. I'll probably come back to this game eventually though, because I recently beat Pikmin 4 and had no problems with that at all. I had a super fun time with it. I had so much fun with it, and I went from hating Oshi the dog to now loving him so much. And that's not even to mention that Pikmin actually functioned this time around, and I love having access to the brand new types of Pikmin, including the Ice Pikmin. Overall, a really good time, and it was a fun strategy game that I'm glad ended up winning the award for best strategy over Fire Emblem Engage. Thank you, Jeff Keighley, for being based as fuck.
Hey son, you buy another anime?
You know, for as much praise as I've given Octopath 2, you'd think by that logic I would love this game, but for some reason I didn't. I don't know. I need to go back to it if I'm being honest. Yeah, I'm in no position at all to give my opinion on it. I think I just didn't want another gacha game on my plate to deal with, and I knew I wasn't going to have enough time for. But aside from that, the music is amazing though, and it's made by HUGtto, so you know it's going to look pretty, so, you know, that's pretty cool.
Every day, I imagine a future where I can be with you.
This game is a visual novel with multiple endings where you help a streamer girl become famous, except she is completely helpless on her own and you need to guide her towards her success and fame, which can lead to very interesting scenes. I thought it was a fun time, but please, if you are sensitive to things like drug overdose and self-harm, you need to stay away from this game. But if you're cool with that, I think you'll have a fun time with this. Just don't be like me and do a bunch of sexy streams. Anything but that.
Fred's a talking horse. He can do whatever he wants.
I want to steal.
I never played the first one, so I can't really compare if it was good or not, but I did have a fun time with this game. It's weird because the game allows 100 players to play minigames with you, but if you're streaming this game, there is obviously going to be streamer delay, and it doesn't work so well for a game like this where you have to time things right. And I'm sure as hell you don't have 100 IRL friends, so to be honest, I don't really know what they were thinking with this. Aside from that though, it's a fun party game.
I see dead people.
This game is another visual novel puzzle game about a guy who dies and has less than 12 hours to figure out his past, and I'm gonna stop myself right there. I have yet to finish this game and I don't want to spoil it for myself, so yeah. Really cool for Capcom to re-release this game though, and I'm excited to play the rest of it. Everybody go play Ghost Trick. I was not held at gunpoint to say this at all. This game released exclusively for PlayStation, I believe, and later came to PC, and I've been eyeing it for years. It's an open world zombie game where you ride around on a bike and experience the story of Deacon St. John, a drifter looking for his wife in the hopes that she's still alive. This game is honestly a contender for Game of the Year for me for games that didn't release this year that I played. It was a fun narrative all around. The voice acting was good, riding my bike around was fun, I love shooting zombies, and there's plenty of that. I mean, what else do you want from a game like this? I purely played this game for a reoccurring bit on the channel, but hey, it comes free with an online Nintendo subscription, so why not? Anyway, as much as I ironically gas this up, you and your kids should stay away from it. It is a mess to control, though it is pretty fun with friends. Honestly though, it does have a lot of potential though if they made a brand new game for the modern generation. Like genuinely, I think if they improved the controls and visuals and maybe added some new things, I think they're sitting on gold here. Speaking of racing games, this game is awesome. I'm pretty sure this game is a test to see if people still care about F-Zero. And while I can't speak for the player count at this point in time, I know from what little I played, I ended up having a really fun time with it, even though I know nothing about what I was doing. But I will say, imagine being a fan of F-Zero, seeing it come back, only for the Nintendo Direct guy to be like, F-Zero, but a battle royale. Sorry, that is to be one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
Expose yourself to Payday.
Surprised I've never played a game like this before now, but this game is about you and your buds going on heists and shooting police officers en masse. For legal reasons, that's a joke. Yeah, not much to say here, but this game is super fun and I need to play more of it with my buds.
Wait a minute. I hate golf.
And another game I don't have much to talk about, but man, I never knew I would enjoy golf with the homies as much as I did playing this. I will say my greatest surprise with this game was that there is apparently a modding community that creates maps for you and your friends to golf on. So that's really cool. Other than that, what do you want me to talk about here? It's fucking golf. You're getting what you're paid for here.
I wonder what Goombas taste like.
Okay, I'm not the biggest 2D Mario fan out there, and I'm not going to pretend to be or lie to you and say that this game blew me away and is my game of the year. But what I will say is for a 2D Mario game, it does a damn good job of being unique and innovative. And honestly, outside of boss fights, there are no flaws with this game that I can name. I think it does a great job of what it sets out to do, and the new gimmick of this game being Wonder Flowers are so cool, and they allow for very unique and fun things to happen, and I'm all for it. Now where's the wonder effect that turns me into Dunban from Xenoblade? Huh, Nintendo? Huh?
It's Dunban over there.
You'll get your rent when you fix this damn door.
Oh boy, here comes another hot take. This game is just fine. Yeah, I don't know, the story is fun, the powers are fun, the voice actors killed it, the music is good, I got to meet Yuri Lowenthal this year. I don't know what you want me to tell you, it's fucking Spider-Man, we're not exactly breaking new ground here. If you've seen literally any Spider-Man media, you know exactly what is going to happen or what the symbiote will do. But I will say the one thing I was surprised about with this game is that the fact that Kraken, the new baddie of this game, killed pretty much all of Spidey's villains off screen. Like, what the hell? Not even a proper send-off for them? That's so cruel. All the while, this dude has freaking cancer. Like, what?
Playing with a wreath blower?
When the devs of one of my favorite indie games, Rain on Your Parade, they just decided the new common annoyance other than sentient clouds would be leaf blower people. Sure. So yeah, you can go around leaf blowing leaves and annoying your neighbors. Oh, and I guess causing the apocalypse too. That happens. Yeah, pretty fun game, especially for a free game. I am very shocked about that information.
I wish I was kicking you through the ceiling.
What?
You know how I mentioned earlier that there's this fear of me trying old games that other people adore and being worried I won't like it by the end of it, and ended up thinking that it's an overrated game that's ultimately outdated and isn't meaningful? I'm getting shot tonight. I think the funniest thing is, I couldn't tell you my problem with this game. I just don't think it's for me. I mean, I like the charm of it and I like the music, but to be honest, I'd rather play Mario and Luigi. I don't know, I feel like I can appreciate the groundwork this game left out for future Mario RPG games, but me personally, I just kind of played it and beat it and moved on with my life. Sorry.
More!
And our last game to finish this off, Persona 5 Tactica. I have not beaten or made any substantial progress in this game, so I'll be brief. Futaba, this art style is amazing and I love her. Yeah, I really can't form thoughts at this moment, but maybe I'll come back to this next year when I actually do finish it. We'll see. I definitely didn't expect to see Persona try their hands at being an XCOM or Mario plus Rabbids, but I'm having a fun time with it so far, so I guess that's a win.
But, didn't you forget something?
What?
Your secret stuff.
I'm not too much of a sports guy, but I did enjoy watching an adaptation on how the higher-ups of Nike created the shoes and went through the process of getting the contract for Michael Jordan. Honestly, not much to say here. I thought it was a fun movie that I watched with my family. I love the characters, and as somebody who was taking a business degree, emphasis on the was, I felt I could relate to this a bit, and it was really fun. Okay, I want to add some context because honestly, I think that's a bit more interesting compared to the actual movie. So before watching this movie, I was at a convention all day. I got to meet Roger Craig Smith, so that was pretty cool. I befriended one of the coolest YouTubers ever, and then I went to a taco place after the fact, so needless to say, we had a lengthy day. Then one of my friends in the group had the very smart idea that, hey, let's go watch the new Shazam movie. And I fell asleep during it. I paid money for this. But that's okay, because upon rewatching it, I realized that nothing of value was lost. Sorry, Zachary Levi.
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come!
I made a video about this, so go watch it. Don't worry, nothing really changed other than, yeah, if you're not a Mario fan, I can see why you won't like this. But if you are, yeah, this is a banger film. Not breaking any new grounds here, but Nintendo's first go around making a new movie was pretty good. Now let's all pray to Lord Arceus they don't fuck up the Zelda movie.
I don't know what I'd do without you.
I felt weird about this one because I'm a huge Guardians of the Galaxy fan, and while I can recognize that this is objectively good, I kind of watched it and moved on with my life. Whether that's due to Marvel burnout or not, I don't know, but it was really good, and Rocket's backstory was really hard to watch, and the humor here was on point. But outside of that, I couldn't really tell you what happened here. But I do plan to give it a rewatch soon, so I can get a better grasp on what happened in this film. But other than that, Star-Lord says the fuck word. Is anyone going to dislike this video if I use my one skip card on this movie? I don't want to talk about it. Like, genuinely, this movie is literally everything wrong with the MCU summed up. How did we go from Ragnarok to this? I don't get it at all. I am sorry.
Ants.
Well, I already used my skip card, so, what to talk about here? Oh, look at MODOK's ass, everybody! Oh my god, ain't that a beaut?
I respect every single Spider-Man in here. Does that include me?
No, you fuck off!
Okay, finally, a good Marvel movie to talk about. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I don't know what I could say that hasn't already been said. This is a masterpiece in every sense of the word, and I said it walking out of the theater, and I'll say it again. You could have ended the movie after the Spider-Gwen section, aka the first 20 minutes of the film, and I would have been perfectly satisfied. But no, they just kept going and going. Oh, and seeing the other Spideys in the Spider HQ, perfection. peak cinema, I would argue. Spider-Man, why didn't you make another banger movie?
Just gotta hit him really hard.
I made a video on this, so go watch that. But the TLDR, this movie good, though I wish it continued where the anime left off of instead of being a blur in between canon and not being canon. Everyone tells me it is canon, but you're telling me all this happens right before the devils break loose into the world? I call cap. Plus, if this movie was canon, Asa would undoubtedly be the Wizard King at this point. Like, how do you see this and think he's still not ready for it? I don't understand. He literally destroyed a meteor!
Do you guys ever think about dying?
Haha, funny Barbenheimer, guys. I'm combining both movies into one section. Haha, get it, get it? I watched the Barbie movie recently, and I actually had fun with it. I mean, I did turn my brain off and watch it in a Discord voice chat, so maybe that's why. But I don't know. I heard there was issues with the film, but I thought it was fun for me personally. Also, Will Ferrell is a businessman. I love that. As for Oppenheimer, it was good. Way too long for me, but it was still good, honestly. Funnily enough, though, I left the theater knowing less about Oppenheimer than I did going into it. Because honestly, I can't even tell if he enjoyed what he created or resents it. But that's the whole point. You see multiple perspectives of him creating the bomb, and you can never really tell how he feels about it. And I think that's kind of cool. Also, when the bomb went off, I was covering my ears preemptively like a little baby. And I just wanted to let you all know about that.
I brought back some takeout, so let's get down and pig out.
I'm not a Ninja Turtles fan, but I did enjoy this a lot. And the visual style is just, wow. Honestly, in some aspects, I want to say it's better than the Spider-Verse in terms of visuals, but both are unique in their own ways for sure. Ooh, I also like that the voice actors apparently got to include references to their favorite pieces of media in this show, so that's also cool. Other than that, however, I thought it was pretty alright.
Is that a Kraken? Hell yes.
Teenage things happen at teenage year. Oop, suddenly I'm a massive kaiju Kraken, and oop, I'm a teenager. Oh god, funny school things happen. Can you tell I was like half asleep watching this movie? Other than visuals looking good, I don't really have much to say. DreamWorks just has a hit or miss track record when it comes to their films, and there is no way they're going to be able to follow up The Last Wish, and that's fine. But obviously Last Wish solos. I'm actually surprised at how much I like this movie, despite never watching the show before. Apparently it's a bit of a reboot, but with the same voice actors and the animators, so that's cool. I thought the romance between Ladybug and Cat Noir was also done pretty well, and not in a cringy way. At least that's what I've been told by fans in general. And I'm just shocked that I ended up liking it as much as I did. What do you want me to tell you? I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know how to pronounce the title of this movie, so good luck, Stripe. Anyway, I'll talk more about what Precure is later in the video, but for the movie itself, we have our main cast chilling, enjoying themselves, and whoosh, a funny ghost blanket thing comes out to terrorize them. Don't you just hate when that happens? But he goes around not only taking the main cast's memories as well as turning them into babies, he has also apparently turned all of the Precure that existed up until now into marketable babies. How cruel! Honestly, I don't remember the plot of the film too well, but I do remember it looking super pretty and having a unique art style, so that's pretty cool. Also, my favorite character, Cure Armor as a baby, has to be the most adorable thing I've ever seen. Oh my god.
I laugh at Jason Voorhees rocking glow sticks.
This movie blows! Okay. I knew it was going to suck going into it, and if I'm being honest, we don't watch horror movies because they are good. We watch them because it's funny, and this one is funny. And by funny, I mean every word these characters speak are along the lines of sex, ass, boobs, tits, fuck. Yeah. But not to fret, because the naughty police known as Jason is here to put an end to these unholy pieces of shit and give us some satisfying kills. And that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen.
The fuck? There's white shit everywhere.
Would you believe me if I told you this was my first time watching this movie? Oh, now I'm definitely getting shot down tonight. I must say, I can't believe how good this film looks, even now. Apparently this is all stop motion too, so that's really cool. I ended up really liking it so much that I even bought the skin in Fortnite when that came out, so that's also something. The songs were good, the visuals were there. I love how Santa gets kidnapped. You all know we love to see that. Overall, solid film.
Look at how Elriz you are! How skibbity toilet you are!
I remember watching this and coming out of the theater at first thinking it was a pretty good adaptation, but the more I thought about it, well, I wouldn't say it's a bad one, but it's definitely not what I and many others expected. I will say right now, I love how much effort they put into the animatronics. They looked ripped straight from the games, and it's amazing. I love the acting from the actors, as well as MatPat! Honestly, the only issue with this film is that it's trying to be multiple things at once. It's trying to appeal to the kids while also being a horror movie. It's trying to tell a story without getting too much into the funny FNAF lore. It's trying to be a good adaptation, but also doesn't know what part of the FNAF series it wants to focus on by including Springtrap here. I personally enjoyed the movie a lot, but I could tell that they were trying to bite off more than they could chew. And hey, since there is a sequel being confirmed and already in the works, maybe they'll take the feedback and be able to create something even better. We'll get to see more Matthew Leonard, baby.
Hello. Welcome to GameStop. What are you getting?
This movie focuses on the GameStop market crash that happened a couple years prior, and oh man, it was a fun watch, if you ignore the music choices. I get they wanted to use music that was popular during the time, but that meant using Savage and Bucket with the mop. Like, why? Outside of that though, I think it was a great retelling of the events leading up to the GameStop event, and I had a fun time with it.
Why did you know how to drive? Mario Kart?
Speaking of real life adaptations, we have Gran Turismo. This movie isn't blowing any new ground here though. Gamer becomes a racer, everyone doubts him, his father doubts him as well and doesn't support our main character's dream because he's only protecting him. We've all seen it before, but I still had a fun time with it. Also, imagine being declared the winner of a tournament only to realize the only reason you won is because you are more marketable. Surely there's a rule against that, right? Like, fuck that other guy, am I right? You know, I thought the first episode was amazing at setting the tone and that anyone could be a Skrull and they're hiding in plain sight and you couldn't trust anyone and that anyone could die at a moment's notice. Oh, how naive I was. It's funny because when I first watched it, I didn't think much of it, but now looking back, it's garbage. The pacing is just really bad and it feels like it just takes away from the MCU instead of adding anything meaningful. And it actually adds a clusterfuck in the mix in the form of Rhodey, aka the famous actor Don Cheadle, baby! We love Don Cheadle! Being a Skrull the entire time. What? What was Marvel cooking? As a kid, I remember watching the vampire movie all the time, but never watched the series until now, and it's really good. Honestly, one of my favorite interpretations of the Batman, and that extends to his villains as well. It definitely took a risk, but I think it paid off super well. But despite me thinking highly of it, I think by the time we got to season 3 and brought Robin and Batgirl into the mix, it started to fall off a bit. But you know what? That's okay, because I think the first couple seasons were fun, and that's okay. Also, the intro theme song is a banger. Oh my god.
Whoa, look, it's Mando and Grogu. It's been so long since we've seen them.
Bro, I have this on my list, but outside of Jack Black and Mando giving up the Darksaber, genuinely, I couldn't tell you what the fuck happened in this show. Like, actually, why do we have a season 3 of this show? It ended perfectly fine during season 2, and it feels like they only brought it back to cash in on Baby Yoda. And that's it, because otherwise, I have zero idea what purpose this served being brought back. You should kill yourself now!
The One Piece is real!
I feel like now that I'm officially talking about One Piece on the channel, I'll be having people en masse asking me to actually watch the show now. Yay! I thought the live action adaptation was a good place to start slowly getting into One Piece, and I really did enjoy it. I think my only gripe with the show is how ridiculous it is that Grap was hunting down his grandson for as long as he did, only to eventually catch up with Luffy, only to be like, son, it was only a test. You can now be a pirate now. Like, are you gonna arrest this man or not? I don't get it at all. Outside of that though, it's really good, and I had a fun time binging it.
I am a god, you dull creature, and I will not be bullied by that.
I only watched this because everyone said it was good, but if that wasn't the case, I was actually going to avoid it. But man, I'm glad I was convinced to watch it, because it was actually really good. The entire season feels like we're in a goddamn race against time imploding on itself, and it feels awesome. It feels like the pace never slows down, and seeing Loki try to find unique ways to counteract time imploding on itself was genuinely really fun to watch. I don't want to say too much without spoiling, but if you like the first season of Loki, I can say with full clarity that the second season is also really good as well.
Read my books, Mark.
Oh hey, this show! The show is about a boy who has a father named Omni-Man who is also... Okay, we're not doing that anymore. I finally caved in and watched it, and it was really good. I didn't think a superhero show could surprise me, but sure enough, this did. The world building, the characters, and the ending are all seriously amazing, and I think my only problem I have with the show is that it kind of baits you into thinking that Adam Eve was going to be the main character of the show, only to put her in a supporting role and transition it into, what about Mark? What was he doing though? That's not to say I didn't enjoy Mark Grayson, but you gave us a whole episode to become attached to this character only for the show to focus on a completely different one, and it just felt a bit jarring at first. But outside of that, very solid show.
A bully-sized hole in my heart.
This is a prime example of why you should not drop your new anime/movies in January, because I could not tell you a damn thing of what happened in this show. I mean, sure, we get new scenarios of Nagatoro bullying the protagonist, and last we left off the show, she kissed him, so what happens here? They hug. Yay, I think? We got a new character introduced as well, so that's cool. Do I know her name at all? No! Okay, next anime.
Past 2 years, when not serving as writer's assistant on Community, I've been researching incest on the internet.
You know, I thought this was just an anime of the week, and that it was a bandwagon to hop on. Boy, was I wrong. This anime perfectly encapsulates the entertainment industry in a way most media would just dance around. I mean, when you got me connecting to it in its messages, you know you've striked gold. Also, I can't tell you how many times I've listened to the opening of this show. It's become an absolute obsession, and the same with the internet as well. Everyone and their mother has made a cover for this song already, and I don't blame them. Definitely check out the 1 hour pilot, aka the first episode, if you like it. Then why not watch the rest of it if you end up enjoying it? Also, Akane best girl. I will die on this hill.
The king of demons yields to no one!
Dude, outside of the final episode that actually did get me to cry for a second, what actually happened during this season? There was no Inosuke or Zenitsu this time around, so instead we got Mitsuru and Michiro for our supporting cast this time around. But man, I don't know what it was, I just didn't vibe with them as much as I was hoping to. But in general, it feels like nothing important happened in this season. I mean, we get 2 new upper ranked demons higher than Daki and Garuto from last season, and yet they seem like villains of the week here. Not that the gang didn't struggle at all to fight them, and I get it's to show that they've improved at fighting upper ranked demons, but it's still made for a pretty boring season in my personal opinion. I never thought in a million years I'd watch an anime like this, but a certain someone who will remain anonymous has sold me on this Power Rangers X Sailor Moon-esque show, and now I've opened a rabbit hole towards the realm of Precure. There's apparently many seasons and generations of magical girls to behold, and oh my god, there's so much. As for the specific one I watched HUGtto, which is about a girl named Hana who takes care of a baby who comes from outer space named Hugtan. Oh, and I guess there's this hamster too, who's also a human sometimes. What the hell is this show? Anyway, it's a fun, wholesome show that I definitely wouldn't try to make too much sense of it all, because if I'm being honest, it really doesn't make much sense. But it's a fun watch with a beginning and a really heartbreaking and emotional ending. Oh my god. This anime aims to ask the question, is it okay to sleep with a high school girl? No! This show is definitely unique, to say the least. It's about this girl who's on the run from her parents due to some horrible events and doesn't have any money to her name. So she started going on the street and, I'm just gonna let you guys connect the dots here. Anyway, she eventually meets Yoshida, who says, "No, I will not be doing unholy things with you. Make me some soup, damn it." And he slowly teaches her about individuality and saying no to people and having respect for her body and herself. It's genuinely a heart-wrenching story, and you can feel the pain she's going through and understand why she had to do all the things she did leading up to this point now. And seeing her struggle to finally getting the independence and self-respect she deserves made it all very nice and sweet at the end. Keep the predators away from the show, please, dear god. I am not finished with this show yet, but I was recommended it by my buddy and YouTuber member, HUGtto, and it's about a girl who is in fact shy. Oh yeah, baby, this is the content y'all came to see! As of me recording this, the show isn't finished premiering its first season, so I can't give my full thoughts on it yet, but I will say right now, I don't understand the plot at all. From what I heard, apparently the manga better fleshes things out, and I can see that after watching the first episode, because outside of Shy as a character, I'm quite lost in this show. Not that it's bad, of course, it's very charming, and holy shit, is that Cynthia? Yeah, it's a fun show, and thank you for recommending it to me, Mr. HUGtto. And that's it. That's all the media I've consumed this year. Yeah, guys, I've consumed a lot of media. This is my first time doing one of these, so if you guys want to leave feedback down below, feel free to do so. Otherwise, yeah, have a good new year and whatever you may be doing. I can't wait to do another one of these next year. Bye-bye. Shout out to the channel members. You guys are awesome.